Hey everyone, Evil here. Season of the Conquerors. That's what season 7 is going to be called for New World Aeternum. We got some announcement notes here we're going to go over real quick. They got a pretty cool image here. I think this looks pretty sick. Some corrupted sword and shield, skull and crossbones type deal. Prepare for the battle in New World Aeternum Season 7. So this is going to launch on January 21st, a little bit later than we had kind of anticipated, about a week later. From PvP focused seasonal worlds to expedition upgrades and bug fixes, Season 7 is packed with exciting opportunities for adventurers of all playstyles. Let's give it a look. So what's new in Season 7? I think the highlight of the season is probably going to be this seasonal world. Not sure what else is really going to come with it. This is going to be the first time this is being introduced, so I see it being quite a focal point. But introducing seasonal worlds, a brand new system that reimagines the Aeternum experience with unique game rules, items, and abilities each season. If you're familiar with ARPGs like Diablo per se, each season they have kind of a gimmick. It lets you play the same game but different over and over and over and over and over, and can be implemented really well. We just gotta wait and see. The first one is gonna be a PvP always server. I am excited to play it. Let's see how it goes though. Here they give us some notes about the PvP server. Players flag for PvP starting at level 15. So initially, I wonder if this was a bit of a miscommunication. Initially, the devs had mentioned that the starting beach was going to be hectic, but if you don't flag till level 15, I would expect you not to still be on the beach at level 15. That'd be a lot of boars you've killed there. Discover new resources and gear with powerful perks, but beware, these items drop upon death. So there was talks of it being kind of a full loot server. I do believe that this means that the new resources that you gather to make the new gear, I think that's going to be all that you drop, kind of similar to in the free-for-all zone, you only dropped your cursed items. I sort of think we're going to only drop these new PvP items. At the end of the season, seasonal worlds will close and players can transfer their character to a permanent world of their choice. So, you know, just as it says, at the end of the season, you won't be able to log back into whatever this world is called, the PvP world, but you will be able to take your character and move it to another world. Now, I've seen some people kind of ask, can we go to fresh start? Well, fresh starts don't actually exist anymore, right? We have standard servers. So I do think you're going to be able to go to any server aside from the console only servers. Probably not, question mark. Here we have the OPR map to test during an upcoming weekend. With it being only tested now, I sort of expect to not see the map implemented into the live game until season 8, but it's going to be called Coral Divide. I'm not sure if our first map actually even has a name. We'll get to look at it during a preview weekend. One of the notable things about this map, I guess they're really focused on, is a central trench that divides the battlefield and houses NPCs. Build bridges to create new pathways, open up strategic opportunities for your team. PvE wins PvP. I don't know if we're going to have more of that here, but it sounds interesting, and if implemented well, could be a lot of fun. We really don't know until this preview weekend. M3s, expedition upgrades, unified mutations, use one gear loadout across all M3 mutated expeditions. So all mutated expeditions for the week will have the same mutations. Gone are the days of swapping gems with every other mutated expedition you enter. It should make running your daily mutated that much easier and more profitable if you're not constantly swapping gems in and out. M3s are also going to be added into the random queue, the matchmaking. That could make your randoms a lot spicier during the day. We'll honestly just have to see. They've also noted upgraded rewards, conquer challenges, and collect better loot than ever before. So the loot tables for the mutations is being adjusted and should be more worth your while. I'd love for mutations to feel more worth the time. Bug fixes for expeditions include resolved AI movement issues, wind chill interactions. I almost never PvE with the ice gauntlet. I have no clue about that, but if it was broken, fix it. Fix targeting issues for the Void Destroyer and Tempest Heart. Same thing. I don't know, but if it's broken, fix it. Good job. Improve mechanics and enemy interactions across all expeditions. Again, that's very vague. Broken stuff now fixed. We're going to call it a plus. We have 8 new artifacts that are going to be coming in season 7. I'd expect 2 of them to likely be in the season pass. The rest of them, it does actually tell us how we're going to get them, I think. Collect Ember Flames in Scorched Dunes. Now, the thing here is I got thousands of hours. I don't know where the Scorched Dunes are. Unlock via Venom questline in Jungle Wilds. Where's the Jungle Wilds? Volcanic Lair. So there's a lot of locations mentioned here. I have no clue where they are. I wonder if there's going to be some seasonal changes to the map potentially. Maybe in line with how they like to do a seasonal story. There's been no mention of it here, but these definitely are not familiar locations. If we want to go over them real quick, the Void Gauntlet Fracture, it's going to heal 100% more health and deal 50% more damage, specifically with the Essence Rupture ability. Life Staff Hecata grants 30% damage absorption with Light Touch after casting a Life Staff ability. I don't think I heal enough to be familiar with what Light Touch is, but 30% damage absorption, that's never bad. The Ice Gauntlet, inflict Frostburn by breaking Entomb, slowing enemies and dealing damage over time. The Fire Staff Burninator, sacrifice damage for increased burn effects 15% over 5 seconds. A new bow, deal 15% more damage to poisoned enemies. A new Rapier, apply stacking burn effects with heavy melee attacks. That's a little different. It's not often you see rapiers doing heavies. And one thing I do like about artifacts, I do think it is rather interesting when the artifact specifically changes how that weapon is played. I think that's usually pretty neat. We have a new earring coming. Automatically recharge healing potions after 20 hits. I'm not sure if this is being hit 20 times or hitting someone 20 times. I would assume it's being hit. The new musket, Shrapnel, causes enemies to bleed on headshots. Is this going to be good enough because you can forego Keenly Jag? We'll just have to see. We have the seasonal events, the Siege of Sulfur, the Legacy of Crassus, and Rabbit's Revenge should all happen during this next season, during season 7. Legacy has seen them all before, but it does mention here they will be up-leveling the gear to gear score 700. Meaning it could be worth it for Legacy players. We won't really know until we do see the rewards, I suppose. The season pass, not overly indifferent from what we've seen in the past, or this season even. It's a season pass. It's got rewards for you. You level it up and you get stuff. You give them more money and you get more stuff. I think we're kind of all on the same page here. Bug fixes and improvements. So we have AI updates, fixed targeting and behavior issues for expedition bosses and world mobs. Improved AI aiming, ensuring better accuracy and functionality. This is so vague, it just sounds like it wasn't working right, and now maybe it is. Resolved issues with player abilities and effects. This sounds very... Resolved issues with player abilities and effects. This is pretty in line with the last two notes. Very vague. What has actually been fixed? Don't know, but it doesn't sound bad. Unified mutation mechanics across all expeditions. Deja vu. It's almost like we actually just read that up here. Now this looks interesting. Updated shop offerings in OPR, including a new buildable wall for adding cover, regen potions, and cleansing elixirs. I'm not even sure all players really even know this is here or what to do with it. But in each OPR match, you can purchase different items and buffs to use specifically in that match with Azoth that you've gathered. And as mentioned here, they're going to be adding a buildable wall. I'm interested to see, are there predetermined places you have to build these? That might not be that fun. It might still be cool. Can you put them wherever you want and kind of build your own forts? That could be very interesting. That would almost change the map each time you play it, adding more replayability. They'll also be adding regen potions for those who go into OPR unprepared. It couldn't be me, man. And cleansing elixirs. Anyone familiar with war will know how insanely valuable these are in the heat of battle. This is going to be a go-to. If you didn't interact with this shop before, cleansing elixirs are going to be huge. Improved skill-based matchmaking in OPR to be based on your personal ranking in the match instead of just wins and losses. This would suggest that it's currently just matchmaking you based on wins and losses. Now this implies we have SBMM right now, but honestly I see no evidence of that on the live game. Maybe this will help make it noticeable. If it is, fingers crossed. Cleaned up invisible collision in the original OPR map to allow for more traversal options. Maybe this means I can throw fireballs over rocks again, or maybe it's more meaning mantling silly rocks and such all scattered across the map, that type of stuff. Maybe that's going to be cleaned up and fixed. Either way, fixing things is a positive. Comprehensive testing to ensure stability and performance. I actually can't really believe this is in the notes. In case you were worried, they tested it. They made something, and then they also made sure that it worked. Sort of thought that was something that would always be going on, but common trend around here, we do get broken updates pretty often. And in case you forgot since the beginning of the video here, Season of Conquerors launches on January 21st, 2025. And that's that. If this was an easier way for you to kind of consume the notes, consider subscribing, and maybe I'll see you in the next one.